Hey everybody, this is Jim Grzanzio. Welcome back. We are in Mumbai, India. This is the Oracle Groundbreakers live program, and I am here with Michel Schildmeijer. Michel, welcome to the program.
Thank you.
First, how did I do on your name?
Michel Schildmeijer, it's in Dutch. Yeah, well, you did it well.
Great, thank you very much. Qualogy is your company, and you are from the Netherlands. And I understand we had a brief conversation off camera. This is your first city on the tour, the Oracle Groundbreakers Yatra Tour. And this is the morning, actually, of the Mumbai event. And we're actually here, we're here at the Oracle offices in Mumbai. Sometimes we're going to universities and sometimes we're going to just regular conference centers. Today we're at Oracle's facility here, and we're in the lunchroom. And so we're here in the morning, and have you given your talk yet?
No, I am about to speak at 2 this afternoon, so yeah, well. So.
Okay, cool. So let's talk about your talk. What's the technology that you're going to be talking about here?
Well, the technology, or even more like the conceptual stuff about containerization and getting into the cloud with your traditional application landscape, and in special to my expertise, WebLogic and middleware. So Oracle's moving ahead into the open source community, contributing to open source projects, and in special to containerized platforms such as Docker and containerized orchestration, Kubernetes. And I'm trying to talk about how to transform a traditional platform like WebLogic, including databases, to a more modern and containerized platform. Also in particular with microservices applications and breaking up monolithic applications, how to do that.
It's interesting. I'm really glad you mentioned the open source, actually open source, to the open source angle here, because I do an opening session to talk about community building. And one of the things I talk about is contributing to open source projects because they're pervasive. So you mentioned cloud and open source. So what's the relationship there between cloud and moving to the cloud and all these open source projects?
Well, you can see that regarding cloud, you see Oracle just provisioned their next generation cloud platform, Oracle Cloud Infrastructure, which is based on a lot of open source technologies, and Oracle is also participating into the Cloud Native Computing Foundation, which is an initiative of the Linux Foundation. So Oracle is moving into this community, and I think they're contributing very well at that point, and they're trying to catch up with other companies like Amazon and Microsoft to compete with their own solutions based on open source and cloud.
Cool. I'll be interested to follow up with you later after your talk to just get a sense of what the reaction is when you talk about this actually in your session. Which brings me to the other sort of area I wanted to talk about here. Is this your first time to India, or do you come here a lot?
No, it's my first time in India, and I was overwhelmed by it. I flew in on Monday, which was yesterday. On Thursday, which was yesterday, and then I did a small tour through the city of Mumbai, and did a lot of fun stuff over there. And now I'm at this conference, and I enjoy it very well. I'm very excited to be here.
Cool. What's your impression of, we had a couple of opening sessions here, what's your impression of the actual attendees here?
Well, I think they're eager to learn. They wanted to extract all the knowledge, and I hope they also will give some feedback about it, about how we are doing it, if we if it makes sense what we're talking about, and if it also is fit for them to go on with, and if they are willing to contribute their own knowledge to the community. So, yeah.
It's interesting. So one of the things we've noticed here is that every city is very different. This is my fifth city. I'll be staying on for the next one, which is Hyderabad, and then I'll be going home after that. All very different. A different environment, different languages and cultures. The food is different, and the people are different as well. You're going to be on the next one in Hyderabad, right?
Correct. I'm in Hyderabad as well, and then I will fly back because a whole month tour is a bit too much for me, and I next month I will be in Argentina as well. So but I look forward to Hyderabad as well. I love meeting new people, new cultures, and network with other people.
Some of the speakers on this tour are going on the whole tour, all 10 cities. But it actually gets worse than that. They're going on all 10 cities here, and then they'll take a few days off, a few weeks off, then they go on another tour, another sort of Latin America tour, which is again back to back to back to back. So, okay, you're from the Netherlands, you're here in India. This sort of travel and talking at conferences and stuff, is this something you do often? Not necessarily here in India, but really anywhere.
Yeah, the last 2 years I increased the tours I've done, and also the sessions I've spoken to. Last one I did before this tour was at the Linux Open Source Conference in Shanghai at KubeCon. So I spoke about continuous integration and delivery, especially from an Oracle perspective, which was very special because the open source community is a bit different and looks a bit different to Oracle than Oracle and the Oracle community itself. And I also attended a lot of Oracle conferences this year in Salt Lake City and in Cleveland. So I do a lot of these conferences. Also for myself too, I do research for these conferences, and it's for me also a learning path for myself to get to know of new technologies, to new methods of how to work with these technologies. So it brings me a lot.
Interesting. Talk a little bit more about open source. You mentioned an interesting angle about open source and Oracle. One of the things that I asked in my session earlier is there was about, 200 people in that room or so. How many people have contributed to open source projects, right? So a lot of these people are young, but it's like no one raised their hand. And that's a huge opportunity for them to get involved in global communities. I'd really like for some of these Oracle communities to start mixing more with the wider open source community. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I guess people are maybe they have something anger to share because it's going to be exposed to the outside world. I don't know, but you have to cross a boundary for that and just do it and get some feedback of what you contributed to this open source community. And it also helps yourself to solve your own problems because another person or another group of developers know about some issues they have encountered and they post it in their on their GitHub or whatever they use. And I think it's valuable for yourself as well as for your company or your team where you work in to get knowledge sharing and also code sharing and makes your product better. Yeah.
Totally agree. Well, I'm really interested to hear what you have to say after your talk. Let's talk for a few minutes about Qualogy. What does Qualogy do?
Qualogy is basically a consulting company in the Netherlands, and we have a branch office in Suriname, and from there we do the Caribbean region. And we are an Oracle house, first of all. We are an Oracle Platinum partner. And besides that, we also have a huge Java developers team, which does a lot of open source projects and also Oracle projects. And besides that, we also started a new data science team with young people from universities to get in and to work on data science projects. So, yeah.
Data science is interesting to me. Are you noticing, you specifically mentioned universities, a lot of interest at universities for data science with the students?
Yeah. You see, if you look at some data science projects and initiatives, they come from universities, and like Python in our language are originally based from universities. So I think in that way you can get people from there as well and get into more like enterprise projects to work on, not only on small internal projects, for instance. So yeah.
If someone were interested in getting involved in data science, what are some of the basic technologies that they would need to become familiar with?
Well, machine learning is one, artificial intelligence is one, huge amounts of data, the languages using, Python, for instance, and R, and also the big data structures, and get more structure out of it, more useful structure. So that, yeah, pretty much are the basics of what you have to get from data science. Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, Michel, thank you very much for coming by. Appreciate it. And this is Jim Grzanzio from the Oracle Groundbreakers team in Mumbai. We'll be back here for some more interviews soon. Thanks a lot, guys. Bye-bye.